Hello everybody and welcome to battle number 4 on this channel. Today we have a new tier battle against trumpetboye. So let's do analysis of both teams. First on my team is Mega Ordino with moves Hyper Voice, Dazzling Gleam, Fire Blast and Wish 252 in HP and special attack Modest Nature. Next on my team Silverly holding Steel Memory with moves Multi-Attack, Ice Fang, Parting Shot and Defog 252 in attack and speed Jolly Nature. Next is Incineroar holding Choice Band with moves U-Turn, Flare Blitz, Knockoff and Drain Punch 252 in HP and attack Adamant Nature. Next on my team is Alolan Executor holding Choice Specs with moves Giga Drain, Draco Meteor, Flamethrower and Psychic 252 in HP and special attack Modest Nature. Next is Blastoise with Icium Z and moves Scald, Ice Beam, Aura Sphere and Dark Pulse 252 in HP and special attack Modest Nature. Next is Choice Scarf Rotom with moves Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball and Will-O-Wisp 252 in special attack and speed Timid Nature. My team is really weak against Fighting, Poison and Ground. This team has one normal, Fighting, Poison, Ground, Ghost, Psychic and Dragon immunity. This team has one normal, Poison, Ground, Rock, Ghost, Psychic, Dark and Fairy resists, 2 Fire, Water, Flying, Electric and Dark resists 3 Grass, Bug, and Ice resists and 4 Steel resists. His team is Vaporeon, Garbodor, Delmise, Golbat, Ferroseed and Heliolisk. His team is weak against Fire, Fighting, Ground, Electric, Psychic and Ice. Normal, Fighting, Poison, Ground, and Ghost immunity this team has. This team has one normal, Fire, Flying, Ground, Rock, Psychic, Ice and Dragon resists, 2 Fighting, Poison and Bug resists 3 Water, Electric, Steel and Fairy resists and 4 Grass resists. This is analysis of both teams, so let's start the battle. I lead with Rotom. He leads Heliolisk. I used Volt Switch. Rotom went back to me, and I sent out Executor. Executor frisked the opposing Heliolisk, and found its Choice Specs. He used Volt Switch as well. And he sent out Golbat. I switched Executor, and I sent out Rotom. The opposing Golbat used Poison Fang. I used super effective Volt Switch, and it was a critical hit. I sent out Silverly. The opposing Golbat used Roost. Golbat restored its HP and Golbat loses Flying type this turn. I used Ice Fang. I didn't get the freeze. The opposing Golbat used Taunt. I don't know why he used that. He switched Golbat, and he sent out Vaporeon. I used Ice Fang, but the opposing Vaporeon avoided the attack. I switched Silverly, and I sent out Executor. Executor frisked the opposing Vaporeon, and found its Normalium Z. The opposing Vaporeon used Rain Dance. Rain continues to fall. The opposing Vaporeon used Ice Beam. And Executor fainted. He didn't do much in this match. Rain continues to fall. I sent out Rotom. I used Volt Switch. Rotom went back to me, and I sent out Blastoise. The opposing Vaporeon used Rest. Vaporeon slept and became healthy. The opposing Vaporeon's hydration ability activated, and Vaporeon woke up. He withdrew Vaporeon, and he sent out Delmise. I used super effective Dark Pulse. I predicted Delmise. If only I used ICMZ Ice Beam. Rain continues to fall. He withdrew Delmise, and he sent out Ferroseed. I used Dark Pulse again, but this time it's a critical hit. The rain stopped. I used Aura Sphere. That did 43%. Probably holding Eviolite. The opposing Ferroseed used Leech Seed. Blastoise was seeded. Blastoise's health is sapped by Leech Seed. I withdrew Blastoise, and I sent out Incineroar. As you can see, I put the wrong ability on Incineroar. The opposing Ferroseed used Protect, but it failed. He withdrew Ferroseed, and he sent out Vaporeon. I used U-turn. Incineroar went back, and I sent out Rotom. He withdrew Vaporeon, and he sent out Ferroseed. I used Volt Switch. And I sent out Incineroar. The opposing Ferroseed used Protect. Ferroseed protected itself. I used U-turn, but the opposing Ferroseed protected itself. Incineroar went back to me, and I sent out Rotom. He withdrew Ferroseed, and he sent out Vaporeon. I used Volt Switch. And the opposing Vaporeon fainted. Rotom went back, and I sent out Silverly. He sent out Ferroseed. I used Parting Shot. The opposing Ferroseed's attack and special attack fell. I sent out Rotom. The opposing Ferroseed used Leech Seed. Rotom was seeded. Rotom's health is sapped by Leech Seed. I withdrew Rotom, and I sent out Incineroar. The opposing Ferroseed used Protect, but it failed. I used Flare Blitz. Incineroar was hurt because of Ferroseed's Iron Barbs, and Incineroar is damaged by recoil. The opposing Ferroseed fainted. He sent out Garbodor. I withdrew Incineroar, and I sent out Rotom. The opposing Garbodor used Toxic Spikes. Poison spikes were scattered on the ground all around my team. I used Will-O-Wisp. The opposing Garbodor was burned. Garbodor used spikes. Now he has one layer of spikes and one layer of toxic spikes. The opposing Garbodor was hurt by its burn. I withdrew Rotom, and I sent out Silverly. Silverly is hurt by the spikes. He adds one more layer of spikes. The opposing Garbodor was hurt by its burn. He withdrew Garbodor, and he sent out Heliolisk. This switch is a chance for me to remove all hazards with Defog. The spikes and poison spikes disappeared from the ground around my team. Heliolisk used Thunderbolt. Did a lot of damage because of choice specs which Heliolisk holds. I used Parting Shot. The opposing Heliolisk's attack and special attack fell. I sent out Incineroar. He withdrew Heliolisk, and he sent out Garbodor. I used Flare Blitz. Incineroar is hurt because of Aftermath, Rocky Helmet and Recoil. The opposing Garbodor fainted. He sent out Heliolisk. The opposing Heliolisk used Volt Switch and Incineroar fainted. He sent out Golbat. I sent out Rotom. I used Volt Switch. He lived on 5%. Rotom went back, and I sent out Silverly. The opposing Golbat used Roost. Golbat restored its HP and Golbat loses Flying type this turn. I used super effective Ice Fang. I was hoping for a freeze, but I didn't get it. The opposing Golbat used Roost to restore its HP once again. This turn is the same as last turn. I used Ice Fang, he used Roost. This turn is same on my side, I used Ice Fang. But this time he used Brave Bad Point. Golbat is damaged by the recoil. And Silverly fainted. I sent out Rotom. He withdrew Golbat, and he sent out Heliolisk. I used Volt Switch. Rotom went back, and I sent out Audino. Audino has Mega evolved into Mega Audino. The opposing Heliolisk used Volt Switch. He sent out Delmise. I used Fire Blast. I used it because of dry skin on Heliolisk, but doesn't matter because he switched out. Delmise fainted. He sent out Golbat. The opposing Golbat used Roost. Golbat restored its HP and Golbat loses Flying type this turn. I used Wish. I withdrew Audino, and I sent out Blastoise. The opposing Golbat used Poison Fang. Lucky for me, no poison. Audino's wish came true. The opposing Golbat used Poison Fang once again. My Blastoise surrounded itself with its Z power. Blastoise used Sub-Zero Slammer. The opposing Golbat used Roost. Golbat restored its HP and Golbat loses Flying type this turn. I used Aura Sphere. I use this because I predicted he would send Heliolisk. Next couple of turn are same. I use Ice Beam, he uses Roost or Poison Fang, so I'm going to speed it up until something happens. I used Volt Switch. Rotom went back, and I sent out Audino. The opposing Golbat used Roost. The opposing Golbat used Poison Fang. and Audino was badly poisoned. I used Wish. Audino was hurt by poison. He withdrew Gulbert, and he sent out Heliolisk. I used Hyper Voice. Audino's wish came true and Audino was hurt by poison. The opposing Heliolisk used Thunderbolt. I used Hyper Voice. And the opposing Heliolisk fainted. Audino was hurt by poison once again. He sent out Gulbert. The opposing Gulbert used Roost. Gulbert restored its HP and Gulbert loses flying type this turn. I used Hyper Voice. Audino was hurt by poison, and Audino fainted. I sent out Rotom. I used super effective Thunderbolt. The opposing Gulbert restored its HP with Roost. I used Thunderbolt again, since it's super effective. The opposing Gulbert used Poison Fang. Rotom was badly poisoned, and Rotom was hurt by poison. I used Thunderbolt one last time. And the opposing Gulbert fainted. And that's the game. I hope that you enjoyed this battle and I will see you in the next one.